Hey guys, welcome to my brother's ballad. I'm your boy Poe Theory. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. We are finally over the 500 mark. We're currently at 587, so we are on our way to the first 1,000. I would appreciate it if you are watching this video to please click subscribe. It really helps the channel, and we are on this journey to 1,000. I would love for you to be one of the first 1,000. So let's get into this video. So guys, for MAGA to always talk about the left being snowflakes, anytime something bad is said about them, oh, they can't take it. Now, who has gotten the ire of MAGA today? Zach Bryan? Is it Zach Bryan? It is Zach Bryan. He's a country singer. He made a song talking about his view of the country. I think he was formerly in the military, and he didn't even really say anything too bad about ICE. He just said what the reality of ICE is. Now Kristi Noem has an issue with it. So let's get into it.
Tensions rise in Portland and Chicago amid the debate over nationwide ICE raids. The Department of Homeland Security is busy trolling Zach Bryan after the country singer released a snippet of a new song that seems to call out the government. Here's the response from DHS.
Our Department of Homeland Security is doing with their time. They are deciding to use the song of Zach Bryan because they're upset with him to highlight what their operations are. If that's not a snowflake, I don't know what is.
They're playing underneath video of ICE officers there. Now, the Navy veteran says that his song is about how much he loves the country and that those using it as a weapon are proving how divided we are. He adds left wing or right wing, we're all one bird and American. And to be clear, I am not on either of these radical sides. We are also hearing from Kamala Harris, a former vice president who spoke at a summit about the current political moment that we're in. A warning now, the former vice president uses a pretty bad word.
There's so much about this moment that is trying to make people feel like they've lost their mind. When in fact, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Now, I really didn't want to vote for her, but because I live in Georgia, I understand that we live in a duopoly when it comes to politics. But I did appreciate her cursing. I wish we would have got some of that realness on the campaign trail, though.
Well, that's new.
No, it's not.
Not from her.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I don't know. That sounds like her to me.
I mean, it's new for the rest of the country to see that side of her. But let's start with Zach Bryan for a second, because I think that this is emblematic of where we are as a country, where a country singer, he has a line in the song about ICE. Conservatives don't like it, and now the government is attacking him for it. Really?
Well, this is why musicians really ought to stay out of politics. I mean, he put this in his song for a reason.
Okay, tell that to Kid Rock.
I mean, look,
I
again, ICE officials.
Whenever I hear conservatives say musicians should stay out of politics, if they are tax-paying citizens, and I'm sure if they are famous musicians, I'm sure they pay a lot of taxes. So for you to tell them just because they have a certain job, they aren't allowed to talk about politics as if it doesn't affect them. They aren't some special type of citizen that the governments and politics don't affect them. Like that logic never made sense to me. And I'm sure if Zach Bryan was singing the praises of ICE, they would have no issue with that.
Are just doing their job, and he's attacking him really in his song.
Is he allowed to do that?
Of course he is. But you know what? About 70% of rural voters voted for Trump. That's the key constituency for country music. So he's really going to piss off a lot of his base of music.
I think that 70% that you're talking about, Mr. Howe, since it's 70% of rural voters voted for Trump, have you heard what the rural farmers have had to say about this administration? About how their farms are going under right now? I doubt they're worried about a Zach Bryan song.
Lovers, but here's the thing. Here's the little secret a lot of people don't know. Many of these Nashville singers have his same views. They're liberal. Many of them are, and yet their constituents, their vote buyers.
I'm going to take his word on it, because he's not so much he just publicly has not been strongly political. He had nice things to say about Donald Trump after his assassination attempt. But I mean, is there a little part of you that wonders, if Zach Bryan's willing to put that in a country song, are there more people who are kind of wondering what's going on here in this country in terms of what's happening with ICE?
No, there certainly are. I mean, you see the polling, though, and this is still a broadly supported initiative in terms of
I
going
wouldn't
after
describe it
illegal.
that way.
No, it's not.
It's not
It's
broadly
It's about 50%.
supported.
No,
the
it's
president's
not.
support on immigration
Look,
is
Trump's
still not
approval
positive.
rating on immigration is not positive. It's actually in the red.
Right.
The border is positive.
The
His immigration enforcement is not.
So, I mean, I do think that there are some questions here about how the American people feel. You know, they like that the border is closed, but how do they feel about the interior enforcement and how it's...
I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that the American people at large love that the border is closed. They may love that it's secured, but closed. This is not a country that can survive off of net negative immigration. Again, I just previously said it when we talk about the farmers and how they can't find any workers because, of course, natural born Americans are not going to do those jobs.
carried out, I think, is kind of what this is about.
Yeah, and you know, the most sympathetic cases are obviously getting elevated to the top, and I do wish, especially for some of the folks who made one mistake, and there have been efforts by members of Congress to go to bat for folks, and I think that's actually a pretty appropriate route. The challenge is that then outweighs here, by the way, is a serial sexual offender who was released multiple times, who had a deportation order for several
Jeffrey
years.
Epstein? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, he's dead. I don't know if you heard about that.
You said released.
I don't think he can be
Yeah, go ahead,
deported.
go ahead,
I'm not sure what.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to go down that.
Even though I can't stand Bakari, I appreciate him with that little Jeffrey Epstein joke. And then again, when they give these anecdotal examples, I need you to give us I need you to tell us that that's a true example. I need you to give us a name and a face, because writ large, the majority of the people that are being deported and snatched off the street are not people that have criminal records.
I mean, but look, I mean, as you pointed out, members of Congress, Republican members of Congress, by the way, have stepped in to save their constituents from deportation, who are law-abiding people who are out of legal status. Sometimes not people who cross the border illegally, by the way, just people who, as many millions of people are in this country, who are out of status. But that's okay. But then the Trump administration is also just snatching people off the street. And I think those stories are...
And that's an extremely important point to make. A lot of these people that they are snatching off the street or trying to deport, these are people that had TPS status, temporary protective status, under the Biden administration. When the Trump administration came in, he completely took those TPS statuses away, which in turn makes these people undocumented. So when he says that they're here illegally, what he is actually saying is that we actually changed the law to make them illegal so we can kick them out of the country legally.
are getting to people.
And the line in the song, and by the way, full confession, I had no idea who Zach Bryan was before this, so I'm not even mad at you all who don't know Bad Bunny anymore. The line in the song is, ICE is going to come bust down your door, and he talks about children being scared and all alone. If you have been following what is happening in this country, you have seen ICE bust down doors. Just in the last few days, what we saw in Chicago was agents rappelling down from Black Hawk helicopters into a residential building in the middle of the night, grabbing people, some who were naked in the bed, zip-tying children, having them wait. Some of them were U.S. citizens. Some of them were U.S. citizen children. So if you've been following, I think you have seen the trauma. You've seen the hunting down of Latinos. You've seen the racial profiling. This week also, or in the last several days, Theo Vaughn, who has been a pro-Trump blogger. ICE, DHS used a clip of him in an ad, and he had an issue with it. Turns out the guy's father's from Nicaragua.
Well, his father is from Nicaragua, but he still voted for this. And if anyone was paying attention, we would have known that this was happening. I get so tired. She's not a liberal. She's a Republican conservative, which she is a never Trumper. I get so tired of, because liberals do it as well. When they bring up these people that voted for Trump, that helped Trump get into office, it's like, oh my God, they're even changing their tune. Well, of course they don't want to be connected to this, but we're not giving them any kudos because now they see the error of their ways. No, do better next time. They don't get a kudos or a pat on the back.
And an immigrant. And so, you know, I think people are beginning to open up their eyes that it's not the worst of the worst that are being taken. It's their neighbors and the people and the children who play with their children.
That's what the media would like you to believe.
No, it's not what the media would like you to believe.
Right.
We see it every day. If there was train dead Iowa, there would be evidence that there was train dead Iowa. If there were criminals, there would be evidence there were criminals. You know what there is evidence of?
There is evidence.
If there was evidence that who they say was in those apartment buildings, they actually were a part of a transnational gang, we would have seen it. They have camera crews. It's damn near a set on Warner Brothers, the way that they are shooting these essentially missions in American cities. This man is essentially saying that the narrative that the media is painting is that these are above board undocumented immigrants that do not have any record, which is true. Because again, if it weren't true, I'm sure you would have the facts to say so. But just sitting on this panel and just saying that's not true, that's not enough.
Evidence that the majority of people who have been grabbed are people without criminal records, and many of them have become undocumented because TPS has ended, because programs that made them legal here have ended. So don't tell me. You can say whatever the hell you want about the border, but don't come here and lie about most of them being criminals, because that is simply false.
You're making it the sympathetic argument. But
no, I'm not making a sympathetic argument. I am making the factual argument. The majority of the people who have been grabbed and detained, deported, disappeared are people without criminal records.
And you don't have the stats on that either, but I'm just going to say this.
The stats are everywhere. Is he serious? Let's pull up these stats. According to Track's Immigration Detention Quick Facts, as of July 27, 2025, 71.1% of ICE detainees had no criminal conviction. So again, we do have the facts. And unfortunately, sir, you don't. Because if you did, if the facts bore out what you are saying on this panel, you would bring them. And of course you don't. You just come with talking points.
Go look it up. Go look it up.
Okay, all right.
CNN has reported the stats.
All right, next for us, the panel is...
Exactly. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. Please, again, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Again, please be one of the first 1,000 to come along this journey with me and help this channel grow. Even if you hate me, but hopefully you like me. All right, guys. Peace.